Hi, it's Avenger Nerd, and in this video, I will talk about Jurassic World. Now, Jurassic World is, in my opinion, it's not as good as The Lost World, and obviously, it's not as good as Jurassic Park, but it's still a far better film than Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3, in my opinion, is the worst film out of the Jurassic Park franchise. And I'll do a review on Jurassic Park 3. But Jurassic World is it's an enjoyable film. Even though the trailers, of course, ruined the film. They spoiled the whole thing. They ruined the suspense. I agree. The trailers are very spoily. I remember watching them. They were very spoily. They revealed too much. They revealed the IRX. They revealed the most. So they revealed a lot of things, which I think they should have not done. So they ruined the film. But despite the trailer, there's some good things out there. Despite the trailer, there were some. The film was still good, enjoyable. It was enjoyable, not as enjoyable as The Lost World, but it's still or JP, but it's still enjoyable, right? So, what I liked about Jurassic World, I liked the fact that I love the introduction of Mosasaur. That's awesome. I love that. I was happy they brought Mosasaur. At least they brought a prehistoric animal into this franchise, the Mosasaur. So I was very happy they brought that. I was happy with what I liked was seeing the park. I liked how they did something different here. They didn't show us going to another island, and they're going to an island full of dinosaurs, and they have to find a way to get away from escape the island. We've already seen that. I liked how they did something different about having John Hammond's dream come true, having a fully functional theme park. I really like that idea. That's really new, and I give kudos to the author. Kudos to the writer and the director for doing something different. I give them respect to that. I really love that. I loved how futuristic it looked. I look how modernized it is, and I love the how there's a dinosaur petting zoo. I love how you can row a boat, and you can row a boat with all the dinosaurs. It's pretty cool. I love you can go to those gyros with those balls, and you could pretty much you can see all the different dinosaurs like the Apatosaurus and the Triceratops, all these herbivores together. It's pretty cool. I like that. You basically can use a gyrosphere, that ball, they call that ball. You can, that human, they call it the gyrosphere. It can go anywhere in the park, and you can. It's in the park, and you can see the dinosaurs in their natural habitat. That's cool. What I loved and I love the IREX. Initially I didn't like the idea of this dino hybrid, but when I saw the design of it, I was like, it looks like a dinosaur. So I was like, oh, bored on it, and I really loved about the IREX. It was not just I liked how it was clever, but I loved how it was very clever. But I also loved the camouflage ability of the IREX. And I love that. I love that scene in the IREX camouflage itself. I love that scene. Loved that scene. I especially loved the ending when you brought the T-Rex. Oh God, I actually literally cried because, man, when Jurassic Park 3 really just killed our favorite animal. The T-Rex. He just killed it. And when you saw the T-Rex from Jurassic World, I just started to cry, man. I was just so happy, man. I literally was so happy to see the animal, man. I was so happy, man. See the animal, man. And I loved how they didn't show a lot of screen time for the T-Rex. They showed it in the end. That was perfect. I give kudos to Colin Trevorrow. Colin, I'll just say I can't say the last name, but Colin, for doing that. That's kudos to him. I give kudos to him for that. I really loved when the T-Rex. When the T-Rex comes in, and he comes in. And I love the battle between the T-Rex and I-Rex. I love that. I love when the I-Rex was about to really murder the T-Rex. It was just like are you gonna make a Jurassic Park 3 scene again? Oh, please no, please no. Then the raptor comes in and tries to attack the I-Rex, and then T-Rex gets a strike back and kicks the I-Rex butt, and then and then when the I-Rex is close to the water, then the Mosasaur comes in, does that deep blue sea thing, and man, it just brings it down the water. I love that scene. That is a collaboration of the Mosasaur, the T-Rex, and the Raptor, man. That was a cool scene. Okay, that scene is just one of the best scenes in one of the best scenes Jurassic Park scene in all of Jurassic Park. It had a better even had a better scene. That scene itself was far better than any of the scenes in even the Lost World. It is not as good as Jurassic Park. The best scenes in Jurassic Park are still far better than Jurassic World, but still, I would put it very close to those with the JP scenes. But what I meant is that it's just a good scene. I loved it. It was a fair. What do you think I was saying? It's a really good scene. I loved it. I still loved it, man. Now I'm gonna. So overall, the film is enjoyable, and I loved it. And it's. But there are flaws with the film, and I want to point them out. First thing I noticed about the film is the I-Rex uses the camouflage ability for one time. I wanted to use it more than once. I want to see more scenes where the I-Rex actually uses the camouflage ability. In fact, he should have used that in the battle of the T-Rex. Number one. Number two, I didn't like was the CGI. The CGI here feels very cheap. It's not as good as the CGI in Lost World. It's not good as the CGI in Jurassic Park. And unfortunately, I can't have to say this. The CGI in Jurassic World is far worse than that of Jurassic Park 3. I would say it's not as bad as sci-fi, the CGI in sci-fi movies, but it's still not good. I didn't like it. The CGI lags behind the other the other three Jurassic Park movies: JP1, JP2, JP3. Jurassic Park 1, Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3. Another thing I didn't like about Jurassic World. One thing I wish Jurassic World they should have done, was should include in the scene, was in the beginning they should have show what happened when Alan and Grant left the island. What happened to Jurassic Park? How it looked at the show, and showing that how some group of people were trying to capture the animals from Jurassic Park and trying to build Jurassic World. They should have showed that actually in the beginning of the movie. Also, another thing I didn't like. Another thing I like to mention was I wish they added was the battle between the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus. We saw in the end the T-Rex just breaks the skeleton of the Spinosaurus. Instead, I would prefer to see the battle between the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus, and get the T-Rex to kick to defeat the Spinosaurus. I wanted to, and that would show a lot. That would actually make the movie far better and far more memorable. Because when they see the T-Rex beats the Spinosaurus, people will be clapping their hands. People will be shouting. Because most people were still mad at Jurassic Park 3 when the T-Rex lost to the Spinosaurus. And I was one of them, man. I was so mad and outraged about that. Another thing I didn't like was how the I-Rex was apparently part raptor. So he can now communicate with the raptors. I found that scene a little bit. I thought it was a little bit silly, if you ask me. There, the thing about raptors being tamed and controlled by Owen. I personally still don't like it. I think the raptors should just be. Well, I didn't like the idea of that because the Jurassic Park franchise. They're actually intelligent animals, so I personally didn't like that idea of raptors being trained by humans. It's just I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it being trained at all. It should just been And I did like the colors of the Raptors. They should have stick with the old classic colors of the Jurassic Park one friend. You know, the Raptors were light brown. They should have kept that in Jurassic World. I didn't like the idea of blue and green, and I just personally like the colors of Jurassic Park. I think this will far suit better for this one. Um, but you know, okay. But those, despite the flaws of this film, it's still better than Jurassic Park 3. It's not as good as Lost World. It's still not even good as Jurassic Park. But I love the attempt they made. I love the effort they put into it. Oh yeah, there's something I forgot to mention. There was a scene that I forgot to put as one of my pros. I forgot to mention this. Something I think I also loved about Jurassic World. I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot to remind you of this. I love the scene when they're dying Apatosaurus. Okay, that is a really good scene. That was just as good. I would say that's another good scene as well. That was as good as the Triceratops. That was a good scene. That was a really good scene. That was a really sad scene. I loved it, just like this Triceratops scene in Jurassic Park. And what was I going to say? But yeah, this is something they don't. This is another flaw I forgot. A flaw of Jurassic World is that they didn't utilize more animatronics. They relied too much heavily on CGI. They should have done more animatronics. There's only one scene where they used animatronic, which was the dying of Apatosaurus, and they should have more of that. They should have more animatronics in Lost World. I mean, not Lost World. I mean Jurassic World. So I hope I hope you like this video. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share this video with others, and please hit the like button, and please hit the notification bell for future future videos, which I'll be posting. Like, I'll do a review of Jurassic Park 3 and Lost World and Jurassic World 2. So I hope bye for now.